Hello everyone, Big John here. And don't forget I'm streaming to Dlive, VK, Facebook profile, Facebook page in the box and YouTube, pretty regular. I've got a couple of good streams coming up. I can't say who's on them because the trolls have been targeting me. I did ask Anne-Marie Waters come on, but I think the trolls have been like saying nasty things to me. But anyway, Lord Ahmed is on trial. Lord Ahmed, the first Muslim lord or peer, is on trial for buggery and rape. Besides that, he's got a massive history of anti-Semitism. He's been involved in an attack on a woman who claims he got raped. So he's still a lord, this guy, still a lord. And after the report came for Rotherham, there's a video of him on a public meeting with the chief of police saying, don't blame the taxi drivers, when in effect, the taxi drivers were an integral part of the rape gangs and what happened in Rotherham. Now, we all know the words 1400. That's 1,400, and we relate that to Rotherham. But just let me get you straight here. That number has been officially increased to do with that report. At the time, it was 1,400. There's investigations going on now. There has been investigations and convictions since. So the official figure is 1,510. I will put the link up to the article that has that in, but the official figure is 1,510. At the moment, there's more than 300 men being investigated in the South Yorkshire area. That's factual, more than 300 men. It was 400 and something. About 2 years ago, it was around 450. I'm just guessing 300 now because it's been 2 years. I know there's been convictions from South Yorkshire to do with that time. So that's all official. I'll put the links into the description of the video after. You can check them out yourself. So I'm just on now the Wikipedia page now for Lord Ahmed. And he was born in Kashmir. That's where he was born. Then he's come over here with his parents around 1957. And at the moment, the trial's saying that he's, let me just get the trial up. Sexually abusing 2 children in 1970s. So he was just 13, 14-year-old or whatever. Now, what are they taught before by that age that they do these kind of things? We know there's white paedophiles. I know you can't, but I don't know any. There has been a couple of cases, a Bulger case, one of them in Liverpool. They were young, his killers, but like, why so young for him? What? This is his brothers as well. So what have they been taught that they have them kind of values? Well, they've obviously not been taught the right things, and I'll prove that in another video about Oldham. So besides that, it's got an history of anti-Semitism. He claimed he'd been tapped by the government. He claimed it was a Jewish conspiracy that why he got Lord Ahmed blamed a Jewish conspiracy for his driving conviction in an interview given in Urdu. Now, his driving conviction, he was texting at his car and he killed somebody in another car. And he crashed and killed someone in another car. And in the end, he just did a few weeks. Let me just check. just done 16 days. "12 weeks in prison, and he ended up doing 16 days and got out. So his privilege is being Muslim. His privilege for getting away with all them things is being Muslim. No one's going to tell me any different, Muslim or ethnic minority. And like I said, anti-Semitic. A Pakistan newspaper alleged that Ahmed said, if the US can announce a reward of 10 million for the capture of somebody, and he's going on about George Bush and all stuff like that, but it was wrong what they said. But he's just got such a shady past. Rape charges, allegations of sexual impropriety. Honestly, you know, this is a nasty piece of work, this is a nasty piece of work. And he's still a lord. Right. He's not born here. So he's got his Pakistani passport. If he gets found guilty of these charges, and these are coming from 13, 14-year-olds, I'm not asked how long he's been here. He needs to go back to wherever he's come from. He's committed crimes when he first come here. Now, if there's somebody, an immigrant here who commits crime, they should be deported. Everyone gets hold of that. So he was an immigrant when he first come, a new immigrant into this country. I don't care how old he were. Should be sent back off home. I'm not bothered about what his family at and all that. What a shady past. Why ain't Busker and Ambrosine outside his court appearance going on about that anti-Semitism, when all I said was that it's not like set in stone that you get conviction for denying the Holocaust, and then I'm an anti-Semitic. So why are Ambrosine and Busker outside his case? Yeah. And I'm going to get upset here because I've been talking to somebody in Rotherham today, and through being an activist, and people tell you things, you get to know things about what's going on. There's court cases all over the country. There's a court case in Oldham, a rape court case in Oldham against 12 men, I think. There's still cases being dealt with in South Yorkshire, the Rotherham area. There's cases in Yorkshire. We've seen 32 go up the other week when you see me inactive and the rest of us there. That's an interesting case, that. 140 charges of rape against the 32 men, besides all the rest of the charges, and there's threats to kill. I'll come round to that a bit more in a bit. And then when you read some of the things that happened to the victims and stuff like that, old people's families being threatened to be killed if they don't shut up and stay silent. The men who've done these crimes are going back out on the street and targeting other girls and doing the same thing to them. And it's just not right. There's been threats against entire families. Mothers have been threatened to rape. Sisters have been threatened to rape if these people don't, like, keep going ahead and won't shut up and things like that. People have had to move. One family had to move to Spain because nobody would listen to them. No MP, no police, no social services, nobody. And they had to move away to Spain, away from all the threats. All the family got threatened to be killed. Mum got threatened to be raped, and the sisters. And nobody does nothing. We've got this. This is well documented. It really is well documented, and nobody does nothing. If we've got that much, like we don't care that much about our children. We're not worth existing on this earth. We're not. I don't have my own children, but I have more than 20. Nephews, grandnieces, great grandnieces, I interact with all my family. I've taught all my younger nephews and the grandkids all to swim and stuff like that. And this is what happens when we let the treacherous Labour Party and the Conservatives run our government and stuff like that. And we really do need to change. I'm sorry if I'm sniffing, but it's really upsetting. And today, someone was telling me that when they spoke, they told me today that there's still people who won't speak out because they're frightened. There's still people who won't say anything because they're frightened what can happen to them. And it can. We still get treated like shit off the police, the social services, the councils. They still threaten and bully and intimidate us. I just want to say, if you're a victim, I'm not a professional or anything. Me, by far, I'm not. And I'm not perfect neither. But if you're a victim, there is people who will listen to you. There is people who listen to you. And if you're afraid of going to the police, come and talk to me. I'll stand by you if you have to go to the police station and talk to them. I'll stand by you so that you don't threaten or intimidate you. I'll stand by you. There's plenty of people who will. It's just awful. And we let people like this into the privilege because he's Muslim and they want to love Muslims, and we let him in and we ignore everything that he's done. It's not right. It's not right. I'm not having it, me. I'm not having it. I wanted to go to this case, but he was ill, couldn't be done. COVID come, and they've just slipped it in. I did actually get told that it was going to be this day, actually, a while back, but I can't go nowhere. I've got to look after my mum, me, and I just can't get to the case. There's a few other. I just don't get it, me. And when you've talked to a victim and you've talked to a family who no one listens to, it was some years ago, but one thing that got me on this journey was I worked with a guy for a few years in Yorkshire, and his daughter ended up getting groomed, and nobody would listen to him and his missus. They weren't poor people, they had money and stuff like that. But a fallout between him and his missus had affected the daughter, and they didn't realise that she ended up getting groomed. And when they went to the police and that, nobody wanted to listen to. No one had listened to him. They were threatened and intimidated, and this has happened to hundreds of thousands of families across the country. So that's how much we care for our kids. That's how much we don't do nothing. This is why I hate the Labour Party. It's nothing to do with Islam. I hate the Labour Party. They've allowed this. Our government and our liberal values have allowed this to happen to our society, and now we're the bad people for speaking out against it. I'm always going to speak out against the Labour Party, me. I am, and I'm warning you now. I'm in Oldham. As soon as I'm registered, I'm going to be at public council meetings. When I find you canvassing on streets, I'll be there with my book asking you questions, difficult questions that nobody will say because it's a politically correct time. No, I'll say them. So I'm just sorry if I'm sniffing. I'm just getting a bit upset. And like I said, I've been this message from one today, a Twitter friend, and I can't believe the things that he tells me that's going on. And look at the state thing. Look at the state of what's going on in Barrow, in Cumbria right now. You've got journalists like that Amy fucking Fenton sticking up for everyone, calling everyone racist, lying and everything, and still we're the bad men, we're the bad people. You know what I mean? I just don't get it. I just don't get it, mate. I just don't get it. I just don't. What's going to happen to Lord Ahmed? Nothing. He might get a jail sentence. It won't be big. He's never going to get deported under our current fucking liberal government values. He's never going to get deported. Although I want him to be deported because he's got his own Pakistani passport. I don't want him here. There's even I mean, you just couldn't make it up. The amount of offences and stuff that he's done. Anti-Semitism 2013. You just couldn't believe it. You just couldn't believe it. I hate it, me. You know, how do these victims feel? Just put yourself now, one of these victims' heads now, right? And nobody's listening to you. The police are threatening and intimidating you. The council started to make threats that you'll lose your council house or you'll get evicted and stuff like that. The social services are threatening to take all the rest of your kids off. Please just think about that. If you're a parent, just think about that. And this isn't isolated incidents. This is not isolated. It's happening. It's happened for fucking 40 plus years and it's happening right now. I'm just sick of it, me. I'm just sick of it. I just can't. I just don't get it, me. I don't get it how insensitive and liberal and politically correct our values are, that this is what happens. And the thing is, within the right, we can't even come together to sort out. We could come together within the right and everyone just put up with or get on with everyone. We'd wipe the government out, but we're never going to do it. We're never going to do it with all you fucking shit trolls who are in there, who don't do nothing. You just do videos, slag people off for whatever reason. I don't see you out on the streets or anything like that. Honestly, I don't see. If you got a problem with me talking like that, and I'm talking about patriots, well, come and fucking see me, right? Come and see me, tell me to my face. And don't be surprised if you get fucking facts thrown at you. Honestly, we need to buck up. We need to stop being dicks and buck up. I just feel sorry for you whiteys, I do. Because you just, a lot of you are digging your own graves. There is plenty who are great people. I know that. I'm not saying everyone, but a lot of you are fucking digging your own graves with your bullshit you come out with. Honestly, I just don't get it, me. I don't get it. I'm called racist. I never hardly mentioned Islam. Don't give a shit about that. This guy's got dozens of things going against him. There's been loads of articles. Look him up. Look, I'll put some links in the chat, but don't say that I'm making things up when I put the necessary links in. 1,510. I said, get it. That's what the amount is. Right, not 1,400. I'm sick of seeing 1,400 when I know it's more and it's going to be more. Honestly, so if you want to speak out, come and talk to me. If you want someone to come police station with you, I'll come police station with you. I'll support you as best I can. I'm not an expert in anything. I might be able to put you on to people who give you better support. There is groups out there supporting for victims. Maggie Oliver Foundation supports victims, and I've met people who've been in her foundation. So get in contact with her. She'll help you out. Definitely, she'll help you out. She has been doing for over 10 years. So you want to get on to people like that. Great Manchester, PAG UK. My mate Billy and his team, they help people. I've seen the results of it. I've met people, survivors, and I've heard their stories. They help people. So there's plenty of people out there. Don't be frightened and don't get intimidated by people saying that you can't meet up with these people. You can. You can. There's nothing wrong with them. There's nothing wrong with them. They'll probably give you, just like I said, there's foundations and organizations that specifically deal with this kind of thing. But if you just want, if you feel that like you want to protest or something, get in contact with us. We've got hundreds of banners, flags, anything to do a protest to support people. We have that stuff. We have that stuff. But yeah, I'm sorry about sniffing and getting a bit upset, but it's just been a bit of a tough morning when I'm hearing things that I can't repeat. There's court cases going on, so I can't say anything about this and that. I can only talk about what's in the public domain already. And everything I've said about Lord Ahmed is in the public domain already, and his court case is going up. So I can't be done for it. I can't get in trouble for it or anything. I haven't accused anybody else. There's him and his two brothers or his mates or whatever. It's all in the articles. You can see all this. I haven't accused anyone of doing anything if they haven't been in court, except for the organisations such as the Labour Party, the police, the social services. They're to blame for all this. But yeah, I'm just sorry I'm sniffing, but it's just difficult when I'm talking to when I talk to victims or survivors to hear the stories and I can't believe that people don't ignore them. You know, in Barrow, the lefties were trying to shame. Billy's got this on his timeline. Bon Ron Jovi and all his lefty buddies were attacking the survivors, to, you know, the victims, and shaming them for coming out. Really? Shaming them. And I'm sorry, but I'm not physically, I'm not the kind of person who'll just smash someone's face in for no reason. But these guys I just hope I never meet up with them, mate. I really do. I just hope I never meet up with them. And they are faceless people on Twitter. That's the only way they can attack you and stuff like that. But yeah, but thank you for listening. I'll put some links in the chat. I'll put some links in the description. I'm sorry for sniffing, but I was getting upset then talking about it, and it just absolutely winds me up. It really does wind me up. Lord Ahmed's alleged sex attack victim tells court she has never forgotten moment former Labour peer tried to rape her when she was a small girl in the 1970s. Former, so he mustn't have his Lord status now. Sheffield Crown Court heard she reported Nazir Ahmed out of a moral responsibility after hearing he might have access to much younger relatives. So, as when the Rotherham report came out, there was a meeting between the chief of police, Lord Ahmed was there, and the public. It was a public meeting trying to calm the people down. And Lord Ahmed came out in the meeting and said everyone was pointing the fingers at the taxi drivers. And Lord Ahmed came out in the meeting and said, don't blame the taxi drivers. When we know that the taxi drivers were an integral part of the rape gangs and how they worked. And he was saying that. He was saying that when he had allegations over him about him raping kids when he was younger. He just couldn't make it up. So his privilege as being Muslim. Oh, we'll make you the first Lord Peer. We'll make you the first. Oh, anti-Semitism, we can cover that up. Oh, rape, we can cover that up. Oh, rape allegations of a woman, we can cover that up. You just couldn't make it up what these people are like and what our Labour councils and any Labour leaders and the Labour values, the socialist bullshit values of them are. And we're not having it. I'm not having it. That's why I'll turn up at court cases. That's why I'll shout down the Labour guys. I went to Hustings in 2019 and I questioned Graham Stringer, a 30-year veteran Labour guy, and I blamed, I mentioned the Oldham riots and lack of integration. And they didn't like it in the place, but I fucking said it. I said it. It was a Cheetham Hill, and it was a hall next to a mosque where we went. The thing were full of Muslims. I stood up, said that you don't learn your lessons. Oldham riots, you're still not learning them, and there's no integration. And then afterwards, people come up to me, we are integrating. And I stood there and said, no, you're not. Some of you might be, but a lot of you are not. And it's not just you. There's Africans who aren't integrating. There's Eastern Europeans who aren't integrating. And that's what I said to him. And I stood up in the hustings and said that. You know, and I'll say it again, me. If you got a question for your local council, you want support, you tell me, and I'll come down with you, and I'll go to the meeting with you, and I'll say in public what I think are your questions. You just couldn't make it up, honestly. What a scumbag. I hope there's nothing much going to happen to him because he's old. You know, he's not going to get a 30-year sentence. It's more than likely won't get deported. And even if they did deport him, my family, my human rights. Well, there's no fucking human rights because there's no human rights for victims, is there, mate? So no, we're not listening to your bullshit. And, you know, personally, me, I want him deported. And if anyone argues against it in his family, they get deported as well. His brother's deported. Right? That's how I want it. Although it's never going to be like that, we know. Thank you very much. I'm doing another video on knife crime and pointing out a case in Bury and talking about a few other things soon. But yeah, we've been let down big time by Labour Party. We are big time. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you.